Alright, we're back. Let's give him a little tail. First of all, we can look and see. Let's go ahead and bring these legs a little bit wider apart in here. There we go. And because really the legs are they're not wide enough apart. They need to, this one is bigger than the other one, so we're going to bring this down. There we go. See from the back there? Okay. Alright. Now, what we want to do, we'll put a little tail on him. Let's just come from here, bring a little tail down here like this, in other words. Just kind of like that, in other words. And let's just make a little cut. And make a little cut. And then we remove the outside of the tail like that, in other words. We kind of bring that. There we go. We do the same over here. Just bring the outside of this, cut it back. There we go. And cut it back. Uh-oh. Broke my tail. Well, that's okay. Must have been a bad place because I don't know what, unless my knife went in. That's okay. We'll just go a little bit deeper. That's not a big deal. Look at that. See? Now you can, and let's come in here, and let's take a little bit away from the edge of that tail. There we go. You can flip it up. You can do a number of things with the tail, in other words. Let's bring this up in here. What I'm going to do, I'll cut a little in here, bring out a little bit more from that tail, and let's just kind of flip that tail up a little bit, in other words, just sort of there we go. Away from that tail, kind of put it like that, and there we go. I think hippos have a lot thinner tails, so I'm going to kind of just thin that up a little bit. In fact, they have, I think, pretty thin tails and stuff, although this is not for realism so much as it is. It's just kind of cute. You don't even have to, you could put a little, even a real little hole and put a little cloth tail on him, or a little rope tail on her, or whatever. That'd be cute. Okay, we're looking good. Okay, I'm gonna clean this out a little bit in here, and let's look. This leg needs to be definitely brought in a little bit. There we go. Now the legs need to be, going more like this. There we go. They need to be flipped up. They need to come a little bit more. Same thing over here. These legs need to, we can come down like that, but we want to be careful about how we do that because this is a thin area in here. There we go. Look now, see that? Looking much better as we begin to shape the legs. See, gives it much more of a unique look when you shape those legs a little bit more. There, just right in there, right in there. Same thing here. Look at that, see? Much, much better. And you want to do it to the back legs too, but let's go ahead and make sure that these back legs are kind of round. Not round necessarily, but are kind of clean all that out in there. You have to kind of, you can do that with your Dremel tool later if you want to. Okay. Now what I want to do is let's go ahead and we're going to just kind of take some off on these back legs. And just kind of be careful on these back legs. Just kind of make them curve a little bit. Sometimes you have to go from the back of the leg or whatever. And kind of get in between here and just kind of roll that knife back a little bit. Just like here. Roll that knife back there. See? Just like that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this down in here. I'm going to cock that back leg up just a little bit by doing this. Watch. Just bring that leg a little bit underneath here. Like this, in other words. See what I did? Get the tail out like that. Where the leg, I just made a little cut in there to make that leg, that back leg, look like it's underneath there just a little bit. Try to get your legs as close as possible as far as width, which means you may have to round them off a little bit. There we go, looking good. I did that with this back leg where it looks like it's kind of, it rolls in there. And I'm going to do that with this back leg. Just like that, how it rolls up underneath there. And you come from the leg side and you just roll it a little bit. It looks like that. See? All it does is it makes it look like that the leg, that this, see how this is coming around here? That's all. Just like that. Just like that, see? That's all. And then we come up here and round this a little bit more. Round this outside here. Come down in here like this. Come down in here like this. Look at that. Alright, see how that looks? Plus it also gives you a chance to bring the tail out a little bit. Oh, that tail. Ooh. I might have to get a little super glue. I don't know what happened. There must have been a rough spot. That tail is wanting to break on me for some reason. Could be some weak wood in there. I don't know. But I'm put a little super glue on there and everything will be fine, in other words. Sometimes I found that in the years of carving, you get some wood sometimes, you get a piece that when you start working on it, it just doesn't have a feel of hardness. It's brittle. And I remember talking to a carver the other day who told me that he had some basswood that he had gotten, and it was so brittle when he tried to carve it, it just fall apart. And that's what happens a lot of times with, I'm going to come up a little bit in here. There we go. Okay. I'll try to get those legs. I'll bring this down a little bit too. Try to get those legs like that. Okay. Flipping that up, giving a little bit more. Okay. All right, let's see. Now, we look like we've gotten the back and all that stuff, pretty much his back rounded off and stuff like that. These marks off. Kind of, see how the back now is rounded and all that? See how that's done? All right. Now let's all right, this is too much. Let me just kind of, there we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Now, let's go to the front right here as we've got our ears now back the way we want them, just like that. And let's look at our eyes here. And all we're going to do is we're just going to make a little, I'll come up here and make a little cut where the eyes are. Just separate them just a little bit. Just separate them. You don't want to put too much pressure. You don't want to put too much pressure on these ears, okay? If you want to round them, you can round them a little bit. I think most of the time their ears, we're just going to round them just a little bit. We're not going for realism here, folks. We're just going for a little cute little caricature. There you go. And we're just going to bring those eyes, and your eyes will be in here. Now, you can make a choice what you want to do. You can take some little, you can carve the eyes in, or you can take some little, you can drill a hole and put a little black pin in there or something like that. Or you can simply take and you can just see how this goes. You can carve those eyes in there just like that, in other words. You can carve those eyes in there just like that. You can use a V-tool. Let me get a V-tool and show you. Okay, here's a V-tool. But you wanna just kind of flatten that out in there, and take your. Let me take my pencil. Take my pencil, and as you're looking at it here, you're gonna just do like this. In other words, you can carve your eyes in there, okay? And like this, and come around like that. Take your V-tool and come around like this, and come around like that on the outside of that. And there's your eyes. Look at this. And let me just put that in there, and put that in there. And there's your little eyes. Okay? Now let me get my knife and move this away from here. And let's cut this down just a little bit in here so you can see your eyes and stuff. Okay. And in the front here, you brought this front here. I'm gonna just remove a little bit of this and a little bit of this. See how the mouth and the trunk and everything, it's not a trunk, but it's the mouth looks, in other words. And I'm gonna just come in here and just remove a little bit of this in here. Make that a little bit. Okay, look at that. Now I'm going to take my V-tool and I'm going to come up here to the ears and be very, see how I got my hand behind it? I'm just going to take a little bit out in there. Take a little bit out in there. Be very careful with your V-tool. Take your finger, like I'm doing, and put behind the ear so that you don't break it. And I'm clean. You can use a little gouge also. I'm just using a little V-tool. And clean out that ear. Now you can also use a Dremel or whatever to clean out the ear. Later on you can take a little sander on a Dremel or something like that and do that. I'm going to come forward here on the eyebrows. And look at that. Look what we got. Alright, my time is up. I'm going to come back and we're going to finish this up and on our little hippo.